Welcome back to the Angel Clark Show. This is it, folks, the final segment of the show this evening. Just because I'm about to stop talking doesn't mean that you have to stop listening. You can head to angelclark.us. There you will find 3 years worth of archives of the show. You can download them, you can stream them, you can share them with your friends on Facebook, on Tumblr, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, whatever you want, and it's all free today. Also, as usual, I didn't get to talk about all the things that I wanted to discuss today. That means that there's a bunch of news that you need to know that you don't know yet. So head to my brand new website, noarmycanstopanidea.com. Scroll down and click on the box that says Show Prep. There you will find the stories I wanted to share with you, but didn't quite get to. An example, a quick example, is a firefighter who was arrested by police while helping victims at the scene of a serious car accident. You'll find that and more at noarmycanstopanidea.com. Now, it's Thursday. That means it's the Liberty Train. Choo-choo. And I have on the line with me Michael W. Dean, and he is joining us to talk about FreeSpeechMe, which you can find by going to freespeechme.org. And this is a .bit plugin for Firefox browsers for Windows and Linux. Now, Michael, how did you get involved in this FreeSpeechMe thing?
I don't know. About 30 years ago, I wrote that, I'm a musician, I'm a writer, I'm a filmmaker, but that's not really what I am. What I am is a catalyst. I excel at bringing one person to another idea. And I generally end up finding projects that really intrigue me. Like, we have an Indiegogo campaign for this, and I'm going to make 20% of what's made on it. The rest of it's going to go to developing it. But I'm working like 9 hours a week on this, and and the amount of money I'm going to make is going to be like minimum wage if we meet our $50,000 goal.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me 3 times that to do something I don't care about. Even if it wasn't something I was against, if I just didn't care about it, I wouldn't do it. I found this thing and I was like, I want to help you. I found this programmer. The thing is, .bit has been around for 2 years. Namecoin's been around for 2 years. There's no adoption of it. Nobody's heard of it. And I'm like, I can make people hear about this. I have the connections. I have the abilities. I can write. I can make videos. I can do radio. I can motivate people and do things like make a .bit only kitty cat site.
Yeah.
So people will go to it. Just thinking of things like that. Like somebody wrote me today and said, Derek, my friend Derek said, "You're blowing my mind. You're doing such a good job with this in one day. I'm hearing about it everywhere." And I said, it's blowing my mind too. I feel like my whole life's acquisition of skill sets has led up to this. This is where I'll really make my mark, and this could be work that could be on a tombstone. Like, here lies Michael Dean, beloved husband, cat daddy, and chief anarchy officer for FreeSpeechMe. I mean, I'd be happy. And the government will probably kill me for this anyway, but if enough people adopt it, it'll be worth it. People should go to freespeechme.org, download the FreeSpeechMe plugin, set up a .bit website. Oh, and Angel, if you or maybe your husband wants to set up a .bit website for you, just go get a Namecoin wallet, send me your Namecoin address by email. I will send you guys enough a Namecoin to register 2 or 3 domains so you can get started. I will send you that. And we're doing that from the first Namecoin we got of donation. You know how like companies will put their first dollar on the wall and it just sits there?
Yeah.
We're taking the first Namecoin we got in donations, and we're going to split it up into 50 bits of usability and send it to 50 of our media friends to start their own .bit website.
I
so
like
that's what
it.
we're doing with our first
Namecoin.
I
like this concept. It's something that I had never thought of, but now that you're talking to me about it, it makes complete sense because I have this fear that one of these days the government is going to shut down my website. And maybe it's a fear that's worth having. Maybe it's me being conspiratorial. But, what happens if they shut down my website?
That's not when you want to be scrambling to try to figure out .bit. First of all, our .org site will go down when that happens. So you need to do it now and learn it and be able to get on the .bit. It's kind of like, I've met a few people who are like, oh, I don't really own guns. I don't have guns. I'm not against them, but if the poop hits the fan and there starts to be rioting in the street, I'll go get a gun and learn how to use it. And I'm like, if there's rioting in the street, you're not going to be able to go buy a gun, and if anyone will sell you one, they're going to charge you 20 times what it's worth. and you're not going to be able to learn to use it because there's going to be people out in your yard shooting each other. You don't wait until, it's kind of like saying, I'll get a tune-up when my car breaks down,
Yeah. Well, it makes complete sense. It absolutely does. And, we put so much work into our websites, especially those of us who are liberty-oriented. This is how we reach people. So we have blogs, we have websites, we have video chats, we have all these ways that we reach people. We've kind of, we excel at reaching people online. But what happens if the government just decides to censor us all at once?
Yeah. Every person I know, every one of my friends has a website where all they do all day long is complain about government regulation and registration and tyranny. And their websites are all .com, .org, or .uk or something. And it's like basically having one of those domain addresses is like tacitly asking permission from the government to continue to have free speech every day you wake up. It's kind of like registering your guns. If they know if you register your guns, they can come take them from you. If you have a .com address, it's even easier than taking guns. They just send an email to ICANN and say, delete this from your registry.
And then it's gone.
With .bit, that can't be done. Also, this is a lot more secure of a system than .com, and it's a lot harder to hijack. And it's pretty easy to hijack .com, .org sites. People do it all the time. It happened to Facebook the other day. Like Facebook, for an hour, a lot of people looking at it were going to a fake Facebook site and like entering their passwords and entering financial information,
So this is more secure as well. So this is going to make it more difficult for people to hack into my site. And then also, if my .com does go down, I can simply direct people to the .bit.
Yeah, but what you should do is originally you should set up a .bit now that points to your .com files. Tell your users about it. Tell them about the FreeSpeechMe plugin, and tell them somewhere on your website or occasionally in your show, if I ever get taken down by the government, just go to the .bit, and they'll just know it, and they'll just go, and it'll be seamless. They won't even notice that it happened, barely,
So it's that simple. I mean, it sounds too easy to be true. Michael, are you lying to me?
I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. There's a thing that some statist said about Bitcoin recently. It was this statist sci-fi writer, Charles Stross, in his article, "Why I Want Bitcoin to Die in a Fire." He said,
"Wow, really?"
Bitcoin looks like it was designed as a weapon intended to damage central banking and money issuing banks with a libertarian political agenda in mind to damage the state's ability to collect tax and monitor their citizens' financial transactions. He said that like it's a bad thing.
Right? I'm sitting here saying, yeah, man. If I
had been doing for Bitcoin 5 years ago what I'm doing for Namecoin now, I would have written that as a press release. And he's like, that's what's wrong with it. Davi Barker said this morning, writing about FreeSpeechMe and FreeSpeechMe.org. He said, what regulators don't realize is that the event of Bitcoin was not the launch of one digital currency or even 10. It was the launch of a completely new technology. The blockchain was born, which is far more revolutionary than Bitcoin itself. When regulators finally comprehend that the cat is out of the bag, they'll quickly discover that there's a whole litter of kittens to herd. One of those kittens is Namecoin, and Namecoin is what drives .bit, and .bit is what you can reach easily now, as of 2 days ago, with FreeSpeechMe, which you can get at freespeechme.org. That's freespeechme.org.
I am going to download this right now, everyone. Michael W. Dean, thank you so much. The Angel Clark Show will return tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Until that time, remember, no army can stop an idea whose time has come.
This is the Angel Clark Show.